am indeed very delighted and privileged to be here today at the official distribution of the federal government's grant to vulnerable groups in the Federal Capital Territory through the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. Once again, I must commend the father of the nation, President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR, our own father in whom I am very proud, for his decision to initiate the National Social Investment Program as a strategy for enhancing social inclusion and a demonstration of his efforts also to bring succor and hope to the poorest of the poor and vulnerable members of the society. Since its introduction and other social economic recovery programs, the National Social Investment Program has impacted positively towards Nigerians' quest to win the war against acute poverty, especially at a time where and when the country, and indeed the global community, strives to recover from the economic difficulties occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. In the same vein, I want to thank very sincerely my sister, the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Omar Farouk, for her zeal and commitment towards the realization. Can you please give her a resounding applause? We must actually give honor to whom it is due, isn't it? Yes. Is she deserving of this applause or not? This we must continue to do again and again for her zeal and commitment towards the realization of this people-oriented program. I understand that today's event of the distribution of the federal government grant to vulnerable groups in the Federal Capital Territory is no doubt the development target to fuel economic recovery from bottom to top. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to equally state that the over 560 beneficiaries from the Federal Capital Territory have been selected via a participatory community selection process by the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. Did you all participate in the selection process? Did you all participate in the selection process? Yeah. Because I would like to tell you clearly today, I know some will say they participated and they're not here. Some names might also be called. But you know what? If you fall short of bringing your identification card, definitely you will not qualify for this program. Unlike before, this program is detailed because you must provide who you are. And I want to encourage you all to ensure you have your name numbers. This will go a long way. Are we together? Yes. Very well then. Let me also state very clearly that with this noble step, we are conscious of the expectations of Mr. President and his earnest desire and commitment to support the downtrodden in the areas of empowerment. This step is also aimed at addressing the negative social economic impacts caused by the pandemic and putting the country back on the path of sustainable growth. It remains the firm conviction of the FCT administration that the challenges notwithstanding, Nigeria has what it takes and shall become a great nation again. But if the current development thrust is maintained and all citizens contribute to the peace and progress of the country, nation building is a collective responsibility. It is one thing for Mr. President to put in place an enabling environment through his veteran officers and representatives at all sectors. It is also another to be committed to protect Nigeria, to be committed to the unity of Nigeria, to be committed to the strength and indivisibility of Nigeria, and that means our belief in our country, nations first, is the first step to go. What does national development mean to you? What does the unity stand for in your hearts? If we believe that Nigeria must not be cracked, if we believe that we must be together, if we believe that if we carry out our own simple duties, Nigeria will be great again. Are we together in this? Yeah. Making a responsibility of joining the government to build the nation is fundamental. For instance, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the function of the Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development Ministry to oversee the affairs of the upliftment of the downtrodden. Now let me tell you how it goes. For instance, in this very cash transfer, and we are out today to say, okay, we are giving 20,000 to very vulnerable Nigeria. That money goes a long way. Some women today sell cigarettes or sell vegetables in the market. Do you know how many vegetables the 5,000 naira will give you? It's much. Then you decide to say, okay, what I will do is to write my name 10 times. Ramatu, Aliyu, Aliyu, Ramatu, Ramatu, Tenu, Aliyu. You keep changing it, Ramatu A, and you will have as many as possible. All going back to your purse and pocket. How then did you help this program? If you are too big for 20,000 to impact upon your life, then don't be here. With 20,000 naira and you wish to buy seedlings or to buy feeds for your cattle or broilers or birds, it will go a long way. The sincerity of purpose and commitment to uplifting of the poorest of the poor is what will make you say, I am qualified, I am not. Because you are receiving 20, deprives 20 other women from getting. Do you know what it means to transfer 20,000 naira that belongs to 2,000 women? Who will give me the arithmetic? 20,000 naira, who is the mathematician here? 20,000 naira multiplied by, okay, by 1,000, can someone, pardon? 200 million. 200 million. That now becomes the reasonable amount that will satisfy my own terrible appetite by depriving 2,000 Nigerians, President Muhammadu Buhari said, give to. Then I'll be comfortable. But that means the program has failed. Do you know where your duty comes in? Is to ensure everyone gets. It's a collective responsibility. To tell me who is collecting twice. To write in to the minister, how will she know? Is she a magician? To tell me which officer is not giving what. If you qualify, it is your entitlement, says President Muhammadu Buhari. Can we please give him a round of applause? He has mandated his foot soldiers, his ministers, to ensure it is distributed. And this woman, the humanitarian minister, is all up and out to ensure that it is given. They are delayed, I'm sure, possibly even through the financial institutions because it's not kept in cash at home. But this disbursement must be made by table, for instance. Then she must get it out to bring here. But I want to tell you something, and I want to urge you all, FCT, because you'll go around the entire country doing the same. Please ensure that justice is done. Please do not further compound the issue by queuing twice. Lastly, it's just a 2-day exercise. But if you queue, you will get. Sadly, we have profiled over 560 beneficiaries. Not because they are the only vulnerable people, but you are all here today. If you get today and you are faced out, please do not go and still turn around to come back tomorrow. Because many on the list, again, when they call the names, you might not find them. Some fell out along the line because they did not qualify. Whosoever is here might be profiled and you take a number. But do not come back tomorrow. Your statistics will be taken. Help the government to serve you better. The role of this government is to provide the direction, lead the way to spur collective citizen action to build the nation. As we commence the distribution of this grant, therefore, it is a statement that the government is ready to do all that is necessary to join the Committee of Nations to fight the global economic downturn and to put in place the need and the required shock absorbers to withstand any future eventualities. COVID-19 took us unaware, the pandemic. It took us by surprise. But in as much as we realize our shortcomings, it now provided us an environment to grow tougher. Never again can it delve the same blow to us, because we will be ready to give it match for match. We learned to construct, we learned to build, we learned to sew masks, we learned to produce insecticides, germicides, creams, detergents, and so on, thanks to the COVID pandemic. But today, some of us have learned skills. All affirmation skills can also be supported and empowered by the 20,000 naira that will be given today. To be self-empowered is much, much better than to be reliant incessantly on the government. If you start a business today with this, let me give you an example. You can say, okay, 10 of us will form a cooperative. We have 200,000 naira. Or 2 million? No, 200,000. Now with 200,000, where you have in carton and you buy in bulk some of the active ingredients required, for instance, to make the soaps, the creams, the detergents, the sanitizers, and so on. When you buy it in the carton, it's cheaper. And who is that? Can we please turn off our phones, please? Are we together here? So with that money, and we buy the active ingredients in carton, and we begin a business. Like a joke, we have formed a group, a formidable one. You sell in Kujia, we take to Gwagwalada the same product, and I will take to Kubwa. Somebody else will take to Nyanya. We are selling simultaneously the same fixed price. Do you know we are making progress? Honestly speaking, if we decide to work, if we decide to help ourselves, if we decide to be self-employment, so shall it be. Never again will poverty knock on our doors and spit in our faces. The Federal Capital Territory Administration is calling on all Nigerians to take personal responsibilities and to support those that are vulnerable within their communities. In whatever capacity, pervasive poverty can only be defeated if we all come together by being our brother's keepers. I want to say a little example. I know many of us woke up today from the common story of dollar is now 7.10. Even the tomato seller will tell you the price of the dollar. The yam seller, the egusi seller will tell you the price of the dollar. What has it got to do with the dollar? Don't be distracted. Some will say the naira is falling. The naira is falling. Now let me give you a simple example. Somebody near me yesterday said, come on safer here. If you enter Cotonou, it's managing to stand stronger. But today the naira is just falling. The person making the much ado about nothing, I looked at him, he was holding the latest iPhone. I asked him and I told him, before you encounter someone holding the latest iPhone in Cotonou, you go waka. He must be the president or the vice. But people like you, down to all my children, even security man, one hold iPhone, latest. Are we producing it here? Oh. What do we export? Practically nothing. But what we are busy exporting is our currency. We want to use everything designer. And anyone using anything local is a local person. It's not civilized. He never surgery. But when Naira falls, it's either a CBN governor or your president. Even the latest, the simplest of women want to wear super Bilisco from London. There are lots of things that we can do. Some African nations today, if you try them and show dollar, as civilized as the country is, I was in Saudi Arabia. We offer dollar in a shop, Marks and Spencer, wallahi, they didn't take it from us. But suddenly within this country, dollar is now a means of exchange. But it's convenient to shift the blame. It is Buhari. He met it 170, it is now 710. Come on. What have we done differently? Baba arrived and told us to diversify. No be so. He said we should farm. No be so. He banned rice importation. No be so. Gave us every enabling environment to produce more rice in the country. No be so. Let's clap for him first before I ask what happened. Even started on the tomatoes, and some of us started producing the tomato paste, preserving the tomatoes, because we know it's a seasonal vegetable. At the end of the day, what happened to it? It's more convenient for us to use Aroso rice or tomato rice or basmati rice or anyone that is not Nigeria is more preferable, much more preferable. Even when our rice is better. We women, most of us, we say it has stone. We don't want to wash it. We want the one that will stroll from our beds and rinse and pour in the pot. Even when some even became rubber rice, let's confess. It wasn't even digesting. But we prefer it. It's convenient to blame. We say you must open border. They put us on the streets to fight me. You must open border. What do you have to trade across border? You carry tomato go across border and you have been like Gusi. So why are they mobilizing you to fight that it must open? Okay, open is opened. And there's no patronage for us. More naira is all out there commanding more goods. Come on. May the labor of our heroes past never be in vain. Amen. Honestly speaking, we as mothers must begin to reason. Don't allow every program be politicized. Let's begin to ask as mothers and be sincere about it. As mothers, if you speak from two sides of your mouth, when one son brings money, you say he is good. When the other brings you bread, you say he is good. You have children, all will not be good. But as mothers, let's learn to speak and speak once. What is good will continue to be good. Let's encourage development in our nation. If every mother today will say, okay, let me even try. There are many fabrics. You see Team Ramatugu house, we use everything majority local, except things we don't produce. They will say rubber, because you are not calling uniform of those big laces. If I decide to task all of you that you must wear super, I will bring you sample. All of them will steal, some will prostitute, some will do everything to meet up the class status. But I insist on the simple rubber and I will wear it too. And just put small from the cap and everything, we will do it here. It's a job to most of you. I empowered one. Every time I'll buy color of my clothes and say do it. Even I have materials for her, do it. How much do you buy it? 1.5. 1.5. I don't even know who does. I say empower her, correct her. She's getting better. The person that sews this is from Suleja, and he sews it for 1,000. If I try them inside here, they will tell me 20,000 every day. What should I do with 20,000? And I'm encouraging him. He's sustaining his family. I told one of my women today, maybe she's here, I won't mention her. She came and let me sew your clothes. I said, start from my bolero. If you can't sew it, this is the price. Leave it, JJ. And that is it. If I say I will be buying the one you are sewing, you bring me and put it inside leather and give me 25,000 P. If I want to buy 10, that's 250. By the time you add the number, you cannot afford it. Please don't let anybody put you in one association of what you cannot afford. It's not necessary. You don't need it. When they force you, you will buy it for 30,000, 100,000. You will wear it once. When you want to go out, I ask all these women, you won't be able to repeat it. It becomes every day. That 30,000. Let me even say you want to buy a big one amongst the small clothes, 4, 5, 5,000. You will buy 4 to 6, and you will sew it. You will wear today and tomorrow. If the tailor sews well, you and that person, there's no difference. Go and fold it down. Fold it down. It's looking the same. Who has ever stopped you to turn your clothes to look whether it's the one that is Unisco or not? They are looking the same. So why must you buy that one of 100,000? It has gone so up because the pounds is higher. Why? Then when I give you, someone will say, hey, she will always give you this rubber one. I'm telling you, don't deceive yourself. This 20,000 will go a long way. Do you know the monies you keep that is legit? Try it. For those of my sisters whose occupation, and they are very proud of it, and I'm not condemning, but I'm telling you that you can try another way to see. The money you receive from some of this social working, and maybe the money the cleaner will receive from just sweeping the street, and if you convert it to use, I don't want to sound either religious, Islamized or Christianized, or a kind of church's thing. I want to be simple. Honestly, if you put it together, you see which will yield more fruit for you. Certainly the blessed money will give you more fruits. This other money, you go buy Panadol, you go buy Canestin, you go buy every, from sand to aircraft of what you require to cleanse yourself, the money is gone. Honestly, I'm taking this time so that my sister also arrives to meet us here. It's a privilege to address a number of us. We don't need it. Today in Abuja, before, we've had the freedom of moving anyhow. Not because, now I will tell you, not because security is failing. Maybe we're the ones failing. In Kubwa, some times ago, they picked a lady's body without head. She was beheaded, some parts removed. The same thing somewhere around the bay. Now, the moment you step out of your house and sneak to follow one man, you are vulnerable. Do you know that? Because he knows that at that moment, ask yourself, maybe even your best friend will not know again. For anybody who studies psychology, that moment you are alone. It's difficult to trace you. You just say, I'm coming. Because you are sneaking to follow someone that has promised you either online to say, I'm bringing this, or I promise to give you this. The moment you are in the confines of a closed place with someone, even if it's your friend now, if you are legitimately married to him, definitely they will hold him to account of your well-being or whereabouts. Am I correct? Yes. So when no one knows him, or is an estranged friend, that means no one is expecting you to be with him. So apparently the psychology is you are that friend that I will use for my rituals. It's convenient because the first point of call will be your husband or your friends. Please, I beg you, do not go somewhere you do not know alone. Avoid corners, avoid late night moves. Certainly this will go a long way to secure us. You can only help government to serve you better and to secure you better. The government is no magician. Have you asked your son who his friends are? Have you asked your son his whereabouts? He closed from school at 4, you know it, he arrives home at 1:30. Because he returned safe yesterday, today, does not mean tomorrow he'll be safe. Somebody else could be monitoring his move. That person to hurt him is not somebody very far. It could be his own friend and accomplices. Now have we asked ourselves, we do not want kidnappers around, or we do not want this and that. Now let me say something. Your friend, your son, your daughter bought a new car without a wheelchair. You will dance to celebrate it as a mother. Hey, he has bought car, oh, thank God. Oh. Have you asked what he has sold? Have you asked him where he earned that money? Are we together? Yes. If it's questionable and you ask your neighbor if you don't understand, then how much did they sell this cow? My pikin buy and come. Ask the father. If he's not listening, you have a sister. I don't know what he's selling. He brought a car. No, it's the chairman that gave me. We want to go and thank him. Go there with him. A way of thanking him traditionally before is a way of confirming. If he says no, or he dodges you, it is not legit. If you celebrate it today and you celebrate it tomorrow, he will comfortably arrange your kidnap with his brother's own. That time you will call the police. You didn't call the police when you saw something unusual, did you? No. Please, let's help the government to serve us better. I'm only seizing an opportunity, but my time is running out. This is the Federal Capital Territory. Yes, the point of unity, but it's a point of convergence of all tribes, religion, all ethnicity, all nationals. We can never know each other. the only person you will be sure of is yourself. So if that is the case, then you will be circumspect. You will check, listen more. Now is the era of social media. Let me take you to the last 3-4 days and occurrences. They are shooting in area 1, oh, they are shooting here, they are shooting. You are joining to spread their shooting. You didn't even hear the gunshot. It creates panic and fear. They even said they are shooting in live camp. They are there now, people are gathering. You didn't go there. You are helping to increase the tension, it's building. They even said in ministers in they kill somebody. Each one will ask, you know what it is doing to us? When the real thing occurs, nobody will take it serious. Because the government must have been exhausted, they are tired of when they say they are one, they run, they are nothing. They said, from pillar to coast. So when you shout, even right in your house, nobody will come. It could also be a rumor-mongering or propagandist machinery being orchestrated by the criminals to ensure that you are diverted, you are distracted. Then too many times it is now a lie, then the real one comes. Why help them to spread it? Please, I beg you, confirm before you retweet or you repost what you post. They say if they hold 75% of you, who say, that's how they said it. And you know what it's doing? It will just cause unnecessary agitation. Those trying to spoil this fear factor in you know the reason why. And they've started coming, then they start calling for the removal of your government. Already, you are already agitated. They say, yes, I'm not secure. It's happening, I'm not secure. Yes, Buhari must go. It's not the first time we've called for removal of anyone here as a leader. The leader will always bear the brunt, will take responsibility. We have 3 tiers of government. We have the National Assembly, the legislature robbed. Who was supposed to be there? Give some action, let heads roll. It doesn't take Buhari, it's not his job to come down and do it for you. Perhaps we are not doing our jobs, that's the sincere truth. Is it in America that we found the president coming out to come this road that is removing or not removing? Come on, what about the people that are responsible for these actions? We are ministers overseeing. We must take responsibility. So this happened, what am I supposed to do? Why didn't you do it? This was not done. They gave money for this, it was not done. There's somebody responsible for the oversight function. Summon me. When I explain it's not done, if I'm not guilty, I must. If we are sincere, if there is sincerity of purpose, are we together? Yes. If there is commitment to duty, are we together? Yes. If there is nation's first and the interest of nation building, are we together? Yes. Honestly, once there is the will, there must be the way. Perhaps the will is not there. It's not time for blame games, and I'm telling you, if you live here today and go, it's not a singular responsibility to say that we are not secured. It's a collective responsibility. If the policeman at a post will collect some token to allow the car pass without asking a question, it is not Buhari. It is your conscience. If I'm searching, something occurred here and I say, close all these gates, nobody should get out of Abuja. And I continue to search persistently and I could not get the person, something is wrong. It's either I'm not searching or the people are concealing. So which one will they? Somebody must be hiding that person I'm looking for inside. And the moment that is there, that is institutional sabotage. Or as a personality, you are sabotaging the government by hiding that person. Who is supplying you food? If you don't eat for 10 days, you must come out of your hiding place. So who is that village woman and man selling food to you and sneaking it to you and water? That is the person responsible for what you are crying for. Nation building is a collective responsibility. But at this juncture, and on this note, I will tell you clearly that in conclusion, it is my honor and privilege to join my sister, the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, that will soon join us in no distant time in the distribution of the federal government's grant to vulnerable groups in the Federal Capital Territory. I'm joining her in this event of the flag off. But perhaps you might also help, just like I finished my sermons and preaching, to make the job easy for her when she arrives, by someone taking responsibility to profile yourselves into 10, 10, 10, 10. You know, just that we are clustered like this. If we are all sincere, I won't want to see you clustered. Now begin to form a line of 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, because that space is too small for 10, 10. Am I correct? Now do 5, 5 at that back, not those sitting, those standing. A roll of just 5, 5, 5. And then she can come and if she has 20 rolls of 5, 5, that means she has 100 people. If you're able to give 30, like that she will keep multiplying. It will be a lot easier. But if I don't want, and I don't even want the people counted, I would like you to be mixing up. If you are not sincere, you will also not want to form 5, 5. Because one person wants to receive 10 times. There is no noise about this. Just pick your group of 5 and take a number. Yes, I'm buying time so that she comes. Where is her aid? I know. Nigerians, now they talk, I know what to be vulnerable. The one will be say, poverty, don't enter them. No be say till you poor. If you poor, no be madness. No be rapper will where come so. Then only God knows, say, for your house now, your son never chop. Your picking school fees they manage. This 20,000 today make you carry and do seed money. Clap for Baba Buhari ahead. But this one story where they tell you now, me say, if 5 of you now put body together, join body say 20 times 5 now how much? 100,000 don't come. If you now come up for here, 20 of you now be 10 of you now or 5 of you now. Say may there be continuity of all good programs started by President Muhammadu Buhari. Amen. For any other program that is not of benefit to all of us, God will quash it for us before we know it. Amen. I beg all of us to continue to pray for this nation. Because if we continue to curse our leaders, the leaders will continue to stumble in their journey. When they stumble in their journey, everything falls apart, we will still be at the brunt.